Dennis Kamikawa is the third-generation fisherman and continues the family's legacy as a bottomfish fisherman in Hawaii.
My grandfather was a fisherman. He started out making spears, yeah? You know, diving spears, the tree prong. He invented the tree prong and the hinge gun. He was the original guy that invented that in Hawaii. Spearing, then fishing, rod and reel, ulua, then eventually going out on a boat. Then deep sea fishing, like trolling, then eventually got into bottom fishing.
As do most beginning fishermen, Dennis started off small.
A 17-foot alikai. That's what I started out with for like maybe 15 years. Then got a 20-foot sea craft. And till today, that's what I still have. When we started out, we used to take mostly a landmark because the GPS didn't come out yet. When I used to go, I used to just follow my friend, and he said, okay, here's the spot. So I didn't have to find the spot. So we go to the spot, and he tells me, okay, you see that tree and the mountain, you line up that, and you make another mark, line up, so you have a more accurate triangular, line up. So that makes your spot right there. So usually you have to have at least 2 landmarks for that one spot. Divers usually use all landmarks because they're close to land, yeah. But when you're far, like 20 miles or 15 miles, you know, you got to use the mountain and maybe like a house or big hotel or something. I used to go myself. Then eventually my brother started coming with me. Then maybe at the most, at that time, just one extra person because the boat is small, yeah. But now I take maybe 2 at the most. First, we started out with Electromate, then eventually got into the Henry Ching. We usually fish with the branch line, you know, like 5 hooks. We braid our line, yeah. We have braided line. 30-pound mason, we braid it, and the hook line is braided 20 pounds, so like 60 pounds. Okay. That's what I learned. That's how I learned. So we braid all our line.
A few bottomfish fishermen will go out for multiple days at a time. Dennis goes out for just one day, but it's a long one.
For the day before, I'll load my boat with the ice and get all my bait ready. Then wake up like 3 o'clock in the morning, head out to the harbor. Well, actually we fuel up, then we head to the harbor, be there by like 4:30, then head out to wherever our destination is. So for the day till I come home, it's like roughly 16, 18 hours before I go to sleep. I would usually target the onaga, yeah, the redfish. Then if it's not biting too good, then we usually go maybe nighttime for the paka or paka. Well, a good day would be like at least 150 pounds or more, up to 300, maybe 400 pounds. Rarely 400. Maybe for the year, maybe you can catch 400 pounds in a day, maybe 3 times for the year, yeah, the fishing, bottom fishing season. But average maybe anywhere from 80 to 150 pounds. That's a decent day.
Fishing is almost always a challenge, but once in a while they make it easy.
We were traveling on the banks, and it was a really nice day, in morning rather. You know, we were going out to the banks, the Lanai side, and we were crossing over on the flats, and I seen something floating. And it was a uku, maybe about 15 pounds, just floating and kind of circling like that. So we went over there, we scooped it, and it had a big humu stuck in his mouth. He couldn't swallow it. So it just floated up and so that was, that was something, yeah.
The abundance or absence of fish, Dennis said, is dependent upon many environmental factors, and that physical closures don't necessarily protect fish that migrate throughout the island chain.
The way I look at it is that's nature, part of nature, yeah. fruits, fish. Certain years there's a lot of lychee, a lot of mango, Same with the fish, I think it's the same, nature. Some years got more. What I realized too, just because there's the closures doesn't mean the fish is going to always be there. Like all the other spots, not necessarily you go every year, they're going to be there. Certain time of the year they come, but depends on the current too. So if the current is not right for that year or that time, the fish won't be there. They're not going to be waiting for the food. They're going to go where they know where the food is, yeah.
Dennis often fishes cooperatively with friends if they're on boats in the same area.
And we kind of fish different areas and we notify each other where, if he's biting or my side is biting, then we just fish, concentrate on that area. Mostly Kimura and Matsumoto, Toshi, the old timers, yeah. That taught me.
One day, Dennis noticed that the fish he was landing were spitting up pieces of sliced squid, and he wasn't using squid for bait. There was no one else in the area except for friends a couple of miles away.
We heard they were fishing, yeah, they were catching and stuff. So we were catching a few, but the bite wasn't really good, yeah. So eventually we started catching, and the spot they were in kind of slowed down. So it was within what, more than 1 hour, yeah? It was a couple hours, yeah? 2-3 hours. So I told him, hey, what kind of palu are you guys using? He said, oh, ika. I go, hey, nobody fishing with ika over here, only us, we fishing here, we're not using ika, yeah, we're using anchovy. So he said, what? I go, yeah. So I told him, must be the fish coming from your area. And that was a couple miles apart. Yeah. So that was unusual. I mean, like I said, the fish move, yeah. So I think they know when the current changes, they know where to go, because they're going to eventually eat again, yeah.
And then there are those moments that are literally out of the blue.
We're fishing on the banks, the Honolulu side. We're going for paka, and a friend of mine, we were fishing together, yeah, Steven Kimura. So a reef shark bit his paka, so he was fighting it, yeah. And he told me, Dennis, you know what, the shark, something is chasing the shark. So I went, what? He's talking to me on the radio. His dad was fighting the fish, hand lining it. So eventually the shark came up to the surface and a tiger just took it right out of the water like a National Geographic. And that was something.